Photography has been a big part of my life since the very beginning. I grew up in a photography household. My dad was a professional photographer. Weddings, I traveled with him to weddings, senior pictures, family pictures, anything that needed a picture, great, let's do it. If you're a photographer, you know, especially a busy full-time photographer who works for yourself, out there hustling jobs and weddings, he worked days, nights, and weekends. And I did. I still do sometimes. But with photography all around me, I became fascinated with photography. I loved it. I loved cameras. I loved the film. I loved seeing cool pictures. I wondered how they were made. I looked through the professional photographer magazines my dad got. And when I was about 8, I asked him for a real camera. I want a real camera. I want to be able to change lenses, something I could keep forever. I still have my original Pentax K1000. Can you see that? This is it. This was my first camera. Interchangeable lenses, full manual. It does have a spot you can put a battery in that only runs the meter. That's the only thing it does. So I got this camera and started taking pictures. Now my house, again, full-time wedding photographer business kind of being run out of the house. We had little envelopes. You just drop a couple of rolls of film in there, fill out the form, stick it in the outbox. A couple of days, it was like magic. I had pictures back. My roll would come back, my negatives, and my proofs. And that was cool. I was taking pictures of everything. I did figure out how to do exposure. So I pretty much had figured that out, so I could get the exposure pretty close. And I knew what kind of light was there, even at such a young age. But I was kind of prolific. I really took a lot of pictures that really didn't need to be taken. And so my dad pulled me aside one day and he said, "John, look through that camera. When you're thinking about taking a picture, look at the picture before you take the picture. So look through your lens, imagine what it's going to look like. And if you don't like the picture, don't take the picture." And I cut down quite a bit on my picture taking because I realized it is pretty much what you see is what you get. Composition-wise, focus-wise, really stop, slow down, look at the picture before you take the picture. And I think that's great advice today. I think we've lost a lot of that since digital photography came out. I know I fall prey to that sometimes too. I'm like spray and pray. I've got a camera that shoots 50 frames per second. And you can blast away. You can really get some cool stuff when the action calls for it. Look at the picture before you take the picture. What's some of the early advice you've got? I'd love to hear it.